up.
Yo, Longhairs. Welcome to episode 106 of Let It Ride.
Yeah.
Here we talk long hair and business, advocate for hair equality, and celebrate men's long manes with hair whips and high fives. If you're a guy with long hair,
You're in the right place.
recording for the first time in the new warehouse. We are in studio at the lounge, and I have to say, it's pretty darn comfortable.
It really
Big
is.
hair whips to El Garvinsky and Elefante for getting the space dialed. More on that soon, but this is El Moreno.
Yep.
I am El Rubio, and we are letting it ride. Our guest on this episode has a resume as long as my locks. He is a vulgar, number-crunching, data-proving, trend-setting, hair-growing, strategic marketing professional.
Damn.
Though on this day he sits before us a short hair, having recently cut and donated his locks to children with hair loss.
Oh, yeah.
This charitable and creative long hair at heart has a background as colorful as a pack of the paint splatters, spanning from mechanical engineering to co-founding startups and managing Fortune 500 advertising accounts to digital marketing and beyond. And his hair growth journey goes just as deep. It is our privilege to host a close friend and brilliant businessman on Let It Ride, introducing the one, the only, CJ Force.
If you smell,
Yes.
yeah, I
get this
need that
guy
hype,
going.
man. I
Dog.
need that hype before any call, any business call. Are you kidding me? Can we get some echo on that in post, please?
You got
I'm
it.
sick.
First time in the warehouse, the echo,
Yeah,
the energy
yeah.
just,
You just feel
reverberating.
compelled to speak with a thunderous tone in this this like cathedral that you guys
Yeah.
have built here.
Dude, hell yeah. Well, we're stoked to have you, man.
I'm fired up.
Yeah, man.
I'll talk about all the things. Let's go.
Good. We got a lot to cover.
I think best, easiest way to start to bring us everyone up to speed is you and your wife, Alyssa, attended the Great Cut in 2019, inspiring you, presumably, to start your hair growth journey, which ended recently with you donating to children with hair loss. Tell us, just bring us on board.
Yeah, man.
What happened?
You guys touched something inside me.
Anyone who was at the Great Cut would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, the story even starts before that. Like Chris and I met in Mammoth, and just kind of hit it off over some like business shop talk stuff. Saw what you guys were doing, and then became buddies first. But as you know, this guy like lives and breathes is the brand, and came to support a friend first, kind of.
Yeah.
And like obviously knew what was going down there but seeing it firsthand and attending the event, I was literally just telling the Lyft driver on the way here about this. And it's the thing that got me was meeting the kids like in first person,
Yeah.
and seeing where the donations were going, and then thinking to myself like, you guys, we swear on this podcast?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
great. And thinking like, shit, what am I doing? Like, I have the ability to grow this hair. Why not do it? And then like kind of check off like a bucket list thing. Like, I feel like every dude secretly wants to know what it's like to have the long flow. Like,
for sure.
what is it like to have the hair blow in the wind? And so it was a nice kind of like built-in excuse to experiment with that. And then COVID dropped its hammer hard, and then there was like zero excuse to like not grow it
You
out.
already had some length prior to COVID. You were already going, or where were you?
No, I
still
feel
thinking about
like
it?
I feel like I was still like the regular, short on the sides, long on the top, kind of where it is right now. Like this is one haircut. So
Standard dude haircut.
yeah, the old standard.
Yeah.
But I think, to answer the question about like what went down there, it was just like also hearing you talk about the background of partnering with an organization where like the impact is really felt, like versus, you know, some of the bigger ones that you guys might have been talking to before or tried to work with. And I've heard this from other brands too. It's like, hey, let's partner with an organization that's at the stage maturity size of like a children with hair loss. And like, you really see where the contributions are going.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like was tattooed on my brain, Chris, after you told me about it. I've shared that with so many people too, like that advice, like don't pick a big giant organization that everybody might know. Pick the one where you can really become a true partner with them.
Yeah.
And then to hear that and then have preached it to so many people and then to show up at the Great Cut and see it and feel it firsthand myself, I was like, oh, this is where it's at. So like, yeah, that was kind of the spark that led to the journey of long hair. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I thank you is in order too. I feel like I thank you guys before. It's just like, it's scary, the content where I was and each stage of like the hair growth journey. And I'm just like, I wonder if these guys have something on this. I'm like, they do. Like greasy hair. They got a video about it or whatever. Like, yeah. So it's been fun. So.
That's awesome, man.
Hey, well, your hair came in phenomenally. I mean, you look like a long hair at heart, a lifetime long hair. How was it? If you had been wondering what it would be like and with the hair blown and everything, how did it turn out? Looking at the pictures, you were born for long hair.
My favorite part was taking immaculate care of the hair under the guiding wing of the Longhairs, and then, for lack of a better term, mansplaining it back to my wife and watching her face just twist up in anger like about there's a lot of, and it was funny though, like there was a lot of stuff that, you know, she was trying to hit me back with like, you don't know anything, I've had long hair my whole life. And I'm like, well, did you know this? And she's like, no. Like, I can't think of an example, but like, or like maybe like the hair falling out where you guys did like, oh, an average of 150 strands a day or whatever. And I hit her with that. She's like, no way. like
Google it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. What was the question again?
You got some quiz questions going on your wife, but what else did you enjoy about it? I mean, it looked phenomenal.
I like one of the kind of the surprising things about it is you think it's going to be a ton of work, and it's actually like less work. I think there's two ends of the spectrum, right? So you have buzz cut, which I had for many years, getting out the old wall clippers and just doing it myself. And then you have long hair, and then in the middle you got this like medium length dude cut, which requires styling, which sucks. I'm in it right now. And it's so much more work. Yeah. Like I just wear a hat every day. Every day I just wear a hat. And
comb it right. What gel? Yeah. What do I use? Do I use the matte finish? Do I use the shine?
My hair grows in like every other direction other than where it should, and so it's impossible. And but that was like one of the things that was best was like you grow it out. Once you get past that terrible phase, and you grow it out, and then you're just able to tie it up, and you're done.
Yeah,
it's great.
Good to go.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about any long hair problems? Did you find anything that was particularly annoying, obtrusive?
Something that really drove you up the wall?
Yeah. You find a lot of I'd find like a lot of hair wrapped around my junk. Tons. Like that was annoying.
I suffer from that one from time to time.
Oh, it's just
very strange. A lot of butthole or butt crack.
No, I get no butthole. No, none.
Maybe not. Just more crack. Not full on hole.
Well, I'm also an avid bidet user, so I think it blasts it right out of there.
You just got those shot right out of there.
Oh yeah. And if side note, can we just a sidebar? Are you guys bidet users? Can we just?
I've used one. I'm with it. Like I just don't have access.
Well, dude, $20 Amazon.
Right,
I feel like somebody get out a phone and order this man a bidet. You?
Never have.
With
never
all
even
his
tried
world
it?
travels
I know,
and everything,
you're like
never
world traveler.
really let one rip on the.
I saw them in Japan, especially, and you don't know the first button to press. It's all obviously in Japanese,
And
and there are 40 buttons on a toilet.
Yeah.
So you're better off just getting into there, getting in, get out. No
The
camel.
icon for like the female frontal wash looks like an ass. So you're like, oh, that's definitely the one for the ass.
Boom.
And it just blasts you. It's a rude awakening. So just a heads up for any first timers out there. But dude, $20. Do yourself a favor. Get one in the cathedral, please.
We could
right.
use one.
Yeah. So yeah, no butthole Klingons.
Not yet.
Not so. What were downfalls? Oh, you guys! I don't know if you guys came up with it or what, but like feeling like a Viking when you walk into the wind versus walking the wind at your back.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst.
Terrible.
Just getting worked.
Yeah, I would say like the only thing that is kind of like a bummer is planning. Like you have to plan timing around your hair care, or like let's say you got to go to an event, you got to wash up. Like I had to do this. You have to plan to do it hours in advance.
Right. Get that full dry.
Unless you want to spend a full hour in the bathroom blow drying your hair and sweating and like it's
As you're barely almost ready, trying to get out the door.
and you're like,
hair.
I think I got it. I think it's dry. And then your hair cools down and it's actually still soaking wet. And it just doesn't work. So that would be the only downfall. But like overall, once you're past that just terrible awkward phase.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
a good one when you're going somewhere, a wedding or some formal thing. You take a last minute shower, don't really plan for the hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
My typical go-to move in that is just tie it up wet and then.
Yeah, which you're not like supposed to do.
No, it's not
right?
great, but
Yeah.
if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Oh, who hasn't? Right?
I do
Am I
like
right?
how tight you can get your hair when it's wet though. And if
Yes.
you like put it in a highball, I mean, you could really get a prime time.
Love braiding it when it's wet.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's actually good because it brings up a downfall that I didn't even think of too. Like, I would get headaches if I tied it too tight. Big time.
Oh, sure.
Big headache guy.
Even with the hair ties for guys, huh?
Yeah, I think it was more maybe just I got a little aggressive on the tightness.
Full max, 4
Yeah.
wraps.
Yeah, but nothing better than letting your hair down. Am I right? After that, it's so
That
good.
long day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even kidding. That was great. After you just melt, the stress would melt away. But
That's good. Yeah. Well, we're happy to see you coming back. I can already see the awkward little sideburns over the
I gotta tell you, I'm on
ear,
the
little
fence.
crest. Just keep letting that go. That's the first thing, Let the awkward hang in, and you'll be back in no time.
I am.
Tell us about this fence line.
Yeah,
You're walking.
I gotta.
Where are you leaning here?
Because now is the moment of truth. You guys got another great cut coming up.
Yeah.
I need the time. I need the log
Yeah.
the inches.
You only have 2 years.
March 16th, upcoming, will
Yeah.
be a 3-year anniversary.
Yep, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, love it.
Yes, exactly. And 3/16/24 falls on a Saturday. So it seems
repeat.
destiny
You guys
would
are in the
have
same,
it.
Same location.
Same
Yep.
venue, same date.
Pretty much probably the exact same setup. I mean, we'll make some adjustments, but why not stick with what worked, give it another go,
Yeah.
fill it to capacity this time.
We had room. We had room for
Tons of room. There's no clear sign that we need to make any changes to the plan. Maybe ditch the arcade or something like that, but
I don't remember.
unless
I
the
don't
San
know.
Diego Marathon is running through our venue on that day. That's pretty much the
we're ahead of
only-
them, dude.
We are. We're years in advance.
We've been
on getting this thing
hitting
locked
up the
down.
manager over there.
Yeah.
And, trying to book the date, lock it in, because there is huge events that have been doing stuff for 10 years. And you never know when they're going to book that. But their weekend is going to be within probably 5 weekends of our event.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just trying to get ours in so that they can work around us,
Yeah.
But then they're like, yeah, we don't book until the cruise ship thing. The cruise ship don't come out for, 9 months or 12 months prior to the so who knows? But I think if we just stay persistent, we'll be able to lock it in.
That'll be sweet. Oh,
Everyone
that'll
else
be
can
that.
work around us. That's the goal.
Yes.
That's our
Come on.
weekend.
Noticing the
World
tats,
record.
new first
Oh, yeah,
season in
dude.
life. Oh, my
If you wanna
God.
get
We'll
one
do
of
that
those.
at the end of the show here. Don't worry.
I don't know if
Exactly.
Lined up.
Well, we'll see how the rest of the show goes.
Yeah. How's this fence line coming? You got to jump in here. 2 years, almost to the day, until the next great cut. Almost 1 or 2 more haircuts, and you're going to be disqualified. It's going to come close here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Let's talk through this.
talk through what you're trying to talk me off the ledge here?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you got to commit, man. If you're going to donate at the Great Cut.
You think I can get another haircut in? Think one more?
I mean, any more haircuts, and it's going to be tough to donate a considerable
You could do some
length.
trims, like clean the sides up.
That's basically a no. That's a no on the haircuts.
Where's Alyssa on the hair?
Ooh,
on this last grow out phase,
Let's talk about
obviously
that.
she was annoyed that you came with some fast facts and things, but did she like it? Did she
think
support
you knew
it?
it all?
I would say she was maybe she was impressed by the fast facts, but
okay.
No. I think no, this is a good topic. All right, let me tell you about how I cut the hair. So, Alyssa was a hater on the hair. She's gonna hate me for saying this.
Oh.
She was just like,
the truth comes out.
Yeah. But turns out she wasn't a true hater. She just liked to give me shit about it.
Sure.
And at the beginning, I think she was a hater, but she had to go through the awkward phase just like I did. I didn't have to look at it. She had to look at it every day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And so she was always like very clear that she wasn't a fan, because it was always the question. We go out, with other couples, and like the couple would be like, Alyssa, what do you think about his hair? And she would hold no punches. She goes, I don't like it. But she's always been cool. She's like, but he can do whatever he wants. Oh, it's fine. Doesn't bother me. But I liked it better short. And she was very like clear about that. So what I did was, I know exactly the date that I cut it because it was on our anniversary. So on our wedding anniversary, I snuck out to the salon and got it cut. And then I wrapped up the hair in a present with some other presents, and I gave it to her, and I had my beanie on, so like she couldn't tell.
Right.
Nice.
And she opened it up and she's like, would you get me a wig? And then she goes, and then she felt it backfired on me so hard because she felt so terrible. She was like, I didn't want you to, now I feel so bad.
I loved it.
You didn't, no, she did not say I loved it. She never said that. She just felt bad. She's like, no, you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't want to be the reason that you cut your hair. And then it's funny, like a couple days later, then I think she came around. She's like, I think I missed the long hair. Because I cut it and I went straight to like baby face.
Yeah.
It felt
whole
weird.
Appearance change, vibe, everything.
Well, the truth is, the full story is, I went to a salon, got a haircut, and they gave me like the Miranda from Sex and the City, and
that little like a bob.
No,
kinda?
not
okay.
no, not a bob.
Oh, Miranda is like
from
the
'90s,
one.
from
Yeah,
1990s
yeah.
Sex and the City. Just a bad cut.
Okay.
It was so bad that the next day I went out and got a cut from a real barber.
Wow.
Because I was afraid that the barber wasn't going to know how to handle like braiding up the hair and getting it prepped.
Not a bad move.
Yeah. So, and I thought they might give it to me on the house, but they definitely charged me for that cut for the Miranda. But yeah, so that's Alyssa's take on it. And so I think I got the free pass to go.
Okay.
Or like I got the endorsement.
Great.
Sounds like a green light.
Yeah.
She's on board.
Sounds like you're in for the Great Cut 2024. You're going to be donating. You're going to be one of the first guys in line. And
There's no...
Yeah,
doing it for the kids, man.
I just want to scream out like a hell yeah, I'm in right now. But I'm like, if I do that, then I'm definitely in. And I'm like...
Yeah, because we got it recorded and we can always send it to you.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when you said this?
All I just heard was hell yeah, I'm in.
Just chop it up and put that in there. Yeah. All right. Here's my even if I don't grow it out, I'll be there to support, and maybe I can do something in other ways. How about that?
Okay.
Of course, we know.
But I kind of
you got our back.
Yeah.
Do it.
Hey, there are a lot of ways to support. You don't have to cut your hair to support the Great Cut. As much as we would love you to.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's throw it back on you. You got a lot of locks over there. I feel like you could donate now and still grow it back in time. What are you doing? You gonna plan to grow that to your knees?
I will let it grow as long as I can, for sure. I do need a little maintenance trim. Probably got to get a good 1/16 of an inch taken off here. They need the longest donations possible. So 8 inches is the minimum, but they really want donations of 14 inches and even longer. So for me, even if I cut it and grew it back out, 2 donations of 12 inches or one of 12 and one of 8 would not be as valuable of one donation of, say, 30 inches.
Yeah. And he's going full shave. He's committed. He's put it out on the YouTubes. He's signed the doc.
Well, he's up.
So he's
I'm all in.
Yeah.
It's his
Hell
turn
yeah.
to go for the shave. So he's got it. So he could do like 30 plus or something like that,
It's going to look great.
which is amazing.
I can't wait to see you with the cue ball.
That's going to be an interesting day. But it's like 10 years from now. We don't have to think
I
about
think
that.
it would be fun for you to bring back the old Healy look, the old high and tight.
It would be great, dude. I'll have to do
back
it.
out, dude.
Yeah,
and let
absolutely.
that ride for a few months.
We'll have to do it.
I think you should do a square top, like just like really, Street Fighter look. That would be good.
Oh, yeah. Question for you, Lens.
Yeah.
Should we have Clinton come here? He can be here in 20 minutes.
Oh, to do the plumbing?
Yes.
So, guys, we do have a plumbing issue over here in the background. I
think we
don't
can
know.
keep it going. You can hold down CJ for 5 minutes while I tell him what.
Yeah, I mean, we got to take all the drywall off. We're going to reroute. He's going to be cutting. If he's down, fuck it. But it's going to be, got to unscrew all the drywall. We only have a tight window with Garv here.
You got that right. We're in. We're doing it. I told him to come. So we're going to meet Clinton. Long hair.
Put him on a mic.
He'll
Is
be
he
down.
long hair?
Yeah, he's long hair.
Oh, get him on the mic.
Yeah.
He's our guy.
He's done some electrical, some plumbing stuff here. He's stoked to be here. Last time he's like, so what, you got to be long hair to work here? That's pretty funny.
So a little bit on the new space, we have just been continuously, endlessly working on.
As you can see, getting text message mid
mid
podcast. We have to make a decision on.
urgent matters assaulting us from all angles at all times. Thus, the need to get the plumber in here as soon as possible. But before we get too much deeper, let's take it back a little bit, CJ. We have related backgrounds in the digital marketing world, the business ownership world. You've been in some agencies. You've started a number of brands on your own. Take us back a little bit into your marketing background and tell us how you started getting into the digital world.
Oh man.
Now, you were in an agency, right, for a long time.
Yeah. So it's kind of long. Let me give you I'm just like packing it up in my mind. So I started a couple companies in college. That's why I got to start there. But I went to school for engineering, and I always say like I'm a recovered engineer, and like because just.
Can we define engineering just so everybody understands? Because there's a lot of different engineering out there, right?
Oh, I drove a train. No, so I went to school for mechanical engineering. So basically, You're just trying to, you're designing complex things using lots of math and software.
Okay.
I would say it would be the best way to describe it, and just so much math, and so I went to school for that. But then when I was at school, I was part of this program where they merged the School of Business with the School of Engineering to try to commercialize start real businesses. And so there was only like 3 teams. It was the inaugural year that they were trying this, and I was part of that, and I got like a taste of business.
Yeah.
And it was like game over from that moment, because like engineering, if there's any engineers like listening to, like everybody knows that there's a lot of like paying your dues. So you go to school for engineering, you'll get a good job out of school, but then you're like, you got to spend years like being like a CAD monkey. Like you're just designing and just like at a desk. And I realized like, a lot of these business guys are telling these engineers what to do, and the business guys get to have all the fun. They're still doing all the problem solving and all that, which I fell in love with from starting those companies in college. So that was like getting bit by the bug. I'll skip a part, but then I got recruited from an agency in LA. I was in Connecticut at the time and got recruited from an agency in LA. And went there, packed up all my, and Alyssa was with me at the time. We were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. Bless her heart, she packed up her life too in a matter of like a week.
Wow.
Like got the offer, and I was like, when do you need me to start? He's like, as soon as you can. I was like, okay, we'll pack up. It was the day before Christmas, or not Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve that I got
Dang.
like the offer, and I was starting my job on like January 11th. Like
Wow.
packed
Yeah.
up all our shit from the East Coast, drove across the country in a week, and started. And it was funny. I give you the backstory about the engineering stuff because the first day I walked into that ad agency and like met all the people, I was like, these are my people.
Nice.
Like,
okay.
everybody was cool. They could have a conversation. Like, there's a lot of stereotypes about engineers that exist for a reason. I'll just throw that out there. And that was kind of the next step. I've spent several years working for agency as an Omnicom agency in LA, and then came down to San Diego, worked at another like really creative agency here in San Diego, and then actually went back to the first agency and helped them just completely rebuild it. They had to like pivot and do things completely differently, and so we rebuilt that whole agency. We grew it to about 115 people. Then I jumped ship to start my own company, and that was in direct to consumer goods.
Yeah.
In the all natural pain relief space of all places, and learned a ton there. Did that for 4 and something years, maybe 5 years.
Okay.
And learned a ton there. And then recently, it was only like a year ago, is my next business was a digital marketing agency called Vulgar. And
hence the intro. If you
yeah.
catch that.
And
He's a vulgar man.
Yeah.
Also,
I brought you guys some teas.
Oh, sick.
And so started that. It was actually our 1 year anniversary yesterday.
Awesome.
And
Congrats.
so we're 5 people now, and it's just been a hell of a ride working our asses off.
So did the company prior, did you sell that, or what happened with that?
No, so I sold my shares back to my co-founder. I still own a percentage or a little bit of the company.
Yeah.
And sold my shares back. It was an amicable breakup, which is like super, super rare.
Yeah.
But it basically came down to like, if he takes it from where the company is now to the next level without me, my stance is like, that's all you, bro.
Yeah.
You get it.
Sure.
Go get it. And
Yeah.
like, I want you to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And, I'll keep a little tiny chunk. And if you become a billionaire, I'll make millions of dollars too. Great.
deal.
Yeah. Right. So, and it's like, cause I'm not doing anything anymore. So that's,
Were you just burnt out with that business, or?
there's a lot of things.
Sure. You don't have to go into, every
We can if you
specific,
want.
but
I'm open.
I'm interested in what the big thing is, though. Like, why, I think anybody who has a business or a partner or something, it could be, is a lot of time you put together, a lot of energy, all this stuff. And if it just isn't going to work, it's probably better to call it earlier than later, because things like always get nastier the more.
So it came down to this for that business, and the model that we were trying to do, which is very, very common in like direct to consumer goods. Like, we were raising lots of money, and we were trying to grow for an acquisition. Now which is not a profit model.
Right.
So like, there wasn't a lot of money to pay people. And so I was living on peanuts for like 4 years, and it just got to the point where like life things, for example, moving to San Diego was like high on my list. It's like, because what do people talk about? It's like, well, why do you work so hard? A lot of people are like, oh, so I can move to the mountains or move to San Diego and retire or whatever. I was like, well, I want to do that now.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point where I was like, I'm sick of living on peanuts. I love you, man, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go earn that money.
Live like
and
this
and it's just like, I believe in the brand and the products and all that, but it's like the model, the path that we chose was you're basically just placing a giant big bet to get the big, acquisition or growth. And that just
people's money.
yeah. And it just wasn't happening fast enough.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I gotta go. That's long story short.
Yeah.
And then since then, the company has completely like shifted its model and its everything, and they're doing great. So, I'm still in their corner. It's like, get it.
Awesome.
make me more money.
Yeah. So reading your website, you talk about how, you've created a system and a model and you apply that now to was it from your experience in that? Okay.
Yeah, big time. So the story behind the scenes of that is when we lived up in the mountains, my wife and I lived in a studio apartment. Mm-hmm. She, of course, worked from home. She's been working from home for a long time. She's a media director, so just working in advertising, and does a completely different thing than I do. And I got the privilege of overhearing every single one of her phone calls. And she has a bunch of clients, and I would hear her clients all say the same problems. And I would be over in my corner working on my business and be like, well, we got that figured out. Like, we can do that. I got a team for that. Like, and just kind of, that was a big part of it. And also it aligned with my passion. I love marketing, advertising. I love like learning new industries. Like now I get to work with anybody from like online education for like educating women on how to like negotiate their salaries, like one client, to like a really kick-ass photography and travel equipment brand, to like we have a zero alcohol spirit company, which is such a cool like category that's blowing up. And it's just so cool, like being able to learn all these different categories. But yeah, to answer your question, like I had a bunch of these systems and teams already figured out from my experience in my own startup, and then hearing all the pain points that all these other like emerging scale up brands were having. Yeah. It's like, oh, well shit. I mean, I could really help them, and there's probably some money there. Like, and that was the ticket. And so negotiated the buyout, the breakup with my co-founder. We made that payout happen over 12 months to soften the blow to the business. So like it wasn't going to kill him. Yeah. And literally this month is my last payment from them, and our 1 year anniversary for the agency. And it will be, it's going to be my next month. I will take my first owner draw from the company to actually get paid. So I have not taken a paycheck from Vulgar yet until next month. Very cool. And it's just going to completely just swap. It's magical how it worked out.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Friggin' awesome.
And look, and now we're down here in San Diego. We got a place in Normal Heights. It's just like, it was a very like think and grow rich type thing. Like
manifested your destiny.
It really was. Sounds woo woo, but I was like, I don't even know if I'm a believer in it, but I kind of am now. Like you are just committed, Well,
the whole, opening part of this, talking about the Great Cut, like we manifested that event. It was nothing, just a small idea. Yeah. And you were there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about, it's like execution is the game.
Yeah,
you just
totally.
Gotta do it.
So that was badass, by the way. Thank you to you and Alyssa for driving down from Mammoth Lakes to be at the Great Cut, one of many people who traveled from far and wide to be there and witness and just be part of the energy. It's freaking badass. Would not have been the same without you there.
I just remember seeing you white as a ghost. I was like, this guy's on his last legs. Like, I just swear to you, like, I remember when I saw you, I'm like, he doesn't look so good.
It wasn't going so good for a while, but once we got rolling and got the stuff cooking, things started.
It's so awesome you guys did it. I tell everybody the story. It's just so like you got such a strong story out of that. If nothing else, like, oh my God. Really well done.
So we could really use, the services of Vulgar to help us really pump 2024.
Yeah. Should we just go right into it? Should I get on my laptop and just pitch you guys?
Dude, back to the agency though. We kind of consider ourselves marketing guys. Yeah. What is it like now having, these clients implementing your systems, and you talking to, or you're working with a lot of different sectors, it sounds like. How have you made your systems apply to these different types of businesses? Or do you like adjust them a bit to?
I think it's what has been really fun and interesting is like the obvious statement, like every business is different. Yeah. And especially in these small, like scale up world, like basically your world. Yeah. And every business has a different strength. And so we have some clients that they are just kick ass at creating video.
Okay.
For instance, like you guys
Sure.
would be one of them, right? So it's like, and in that case, it's like, okay, you guys do the like the content creation, but then flip us like the raw footage or like the, you know, your edited version, and we slice those up, and then our system is to slice up what you've already created and then turn that into like the performance ads that are going to grow the business. Because
Awesome.
I think there's a huge, and this is the advice that I always give too. Now we're going tangent, but it's like my advice to almost every brand is to do what you guys do,
Sure.
which is the content has to come from in-house.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
There's no agency on the planet that you're going to hire that's going to live, breathe, and be as passionate as you are.
Authenticity, right? Gotta have it.
Never. Just because you're not set up monetarily, like I'm not, as an agency, I'm not incentivized to like love your brand. Although
Right.
as an agency founder, like we only take brands that we feel really good about, like make the products that like,
Right.
okay, I would use this. But,
or let alone even like know exactly, you know, what the community is looking for or something like,
yeah.
and trying to pull that out of the brand.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're going to create the thing, but not really being in it. It's like, it always comes off like faked or just unauthentic.
Yeah.
Right?
So how we got our first big client is Peak Design. I'll just say their name. So they're the ones that make like rad travel gear, photography gear, all this. I actually owned their travel backpack. So they make this $300 45-liter travel backpack.
Yeah.
The thing is sick because I got into like, I went down the rabbit hole of like one bag travel.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm ditching the roller bag. I want a backpack. I'm only going to carry one thing.
Nice.
Got their bag after doing a ton of research. And how we partnered up with them is I literally just I found their VP of Growth's email online, and I sent him a video, and the video opens with me holding the bag like, I fucking love this bag. And he replies like, all right, I never reply to these, but we're looking for another agency. Let's talk. Okay. And that's how we got, and they've been such an incredible partner.
That's
and
badass.
Yeah, but to your point, it's like, it started with when I started the agency. My advice to anybody like starting an agency is like, just walk around your house and grab the products that you love the most and and just try to contact them. I use this. I love this. I get it. I am your target audience. I understand your target.
Right. Yeah. So direct to consumer, mostly e-com or all e-com?
All e-com.
All e-com. Is everybody, do you like work on one platform too? Do you say like, hey, you know, is everybody pretty much on Shopify, or does that matter for you when because you do a lot of, you know, different landing pages and website stuff, right? So
yeah, no, it doesn't really matter. The ideal, it kind of comes out in the wash because like if most brands that are killing it D2C are already on Shopify. Most brands are using Klaviyo. Most brands are using like Yotpo for.
It's like you hit a certain level if you know what you're doing and you're like only on the pro stuff, right?
Yeah. So, but we have some that are using WooCommerce.
Okay. We know about that life.
Yeah. Oh, you guys were WooCom?
Yeah, that's where we started. It was fine for, you know, we just grew out of it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shopify is 100 times better.
Oh, there's something there's like, hey, if you're selling things online like Shopify and Klaviyo, just stop researching now. Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. You're done.
So it's kind of a mix. But as far as like bread and butter on like the ad platforms, it's like you got your workhorses in Facebook, Instagram, Google.
So Facebook's been, you know, taking some blows. Apple really
hating on
undercut their whole business. How have you guys adjusted to that? Because that's something like we're still trying to figure out. The agency we work with in our advertisements is still, you know, figuring it out, working through whatever. At what point in your mind does it become like, hey, you know, these guys are just giving you an excuse. Here's the way to do Facebook now. Have you guys figured that out yet, or what's the deal?
This is like coming from such a like that's a real question,
right? Yeah.
So I'm gonna back up. I think that this my wife, who I said is a media director, we work together on some clients, even though she works for a different agency.
Okay.
Our agencies share clients, and we were talking about this where we see this all the time. So she's got some clients that they only do Facebook and Instagram for, no other channels.
Yeah.
And, you know, the return on investment or return on ad spend for us marketers out there is like not great. And it's like, well, what the hell? Here's like what has happened in the world, in my opinion. I want to write like a blog article on this or something.
Okay.
Is back in the earlier days, there was a time where you could start a D2C company. You put stuff online, sell it, make a good profit.
Yeah.
Over time, what happened was the big dogs, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Amazon, looked at that. Because what? Let me back up even more. It's like, what was the big like promise? It's like, oh, we're gonna go direct to consumer and cut out the middleman and pass on the profits to our customers, and we'll be able to take some and make better products, and it's gonna be great, and everybody's gonna win. Yeah. And it's like, Facebook looked at that and was like, we'll be taking that profit.
Yeah.
Just took all the margin.
Yeah.
And so did Google, so did Amazon, in the form of the cost of media, and so you can still make a profit in those channels, but you have to like sell the right stuff. So if you have a low average order value, which it's all things are relative, like you guys have a low average order value just inherently by what you sell, unless you're bundling every single thing that you make.
Sure.
And like, it's really, really hard to turn a profit on Facebook. So back to your question, like what do we tell clients? In the way that we do it is it's a 2-punch combo, where you have to be willing to either take a loss or break even on Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. And a lot of clients think it's bullshit. They're like, you just can't do it. But the reason why you do that is you're filling the funnel, you're building retargeting pools, and you're making your money in search and shopping. And so like we'll run campaigns where we're like at break even or sometimes depending on the brand and what they sell at a significant loss on the top of funnel Facebook, Instagram. And then, but like our return will be like 700% or 7x on Google and shopping. Yeah.
Interesting.
The key is though, this is where it gets really hard for startups, like very early startups. You have to have enough budget in order to create enough demand to generate enough search. So if you're spending $100 a day, I'm sorry, you're just not going to generate enough like awareness for people to think to type in the Longhairs or whatever.
Which gets you no love on Google.
Yeah. So then you have to do it the hard way, which is through great content, like, you know, the slow way, the and hard.
Yeah.
And hard. Yeah. So like that would be the path that if you're a very, very early startup, I guess it would be the warning to avoid the pitfall of being kind of sold the fallacy that is Facebook and Instagram marketing for startups.
Yeah.
Like
those days are over. There was a time, right?
Yeah.
You could turn the knobs and, you know, pump up the rev, and those days are gone.
Yeah. Before, Facebook, Instagram, Google, they all woke up and they're like, yoink, we're taking that margin. And so the rule of thumb that I will tell people is like, look, your average order value needs to be like minimum $50. And even then it's crazy hard. What we like to see is 150. Mm-hmm. Like that's where we can safely start to scale in like paid social.
Interesting.
But it's stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like when we look at, you know, us for what it takes for us to get to 150. Well, when we have everything in stock, I mean, we would have to put together a pretty juicy bundle of products to get to 150 bucks. Mm-hmm. Even with liters, if we just, you know, liters plus another 6 things,
3 or 4 other doubled items or something.
So then you start calculating it on lifetime value. Like what is a customer worth to you in 6 months?
That's what I was thinking when you were saying, you know, breaking even or going at a loss. Now that becomes your customer acquisition cost basically. And then how good are you at making them into a repeat customer?
Yeah.
And that's where you start making it back. Cost
per acquisition on average across the board, doesn't matter what client, like a good one is $32, $33. This is what consumers don't realize. Like, why does this shit cost so much? Like, because it costs $32 to get you in the door, buddy. And then not to mention what it costs for the packaging, the product, and all that. It's like, $32. And $32 would be great.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting. So lots happening in the web right now. It's kind of exciting with like Web 3.0, you know. What's your thoughts on it? Is it a marketing term? Is it a real thing? Where do you think, Web 3 is going? And are you guys even paying attention? Or are you just staying in your lane?
I actually don't know. I'm not paying attention is the answer to that. When you say Web 3.0, like what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like how crypto and NFTs and all of these things can be kind of associated with direct-to-consumer, e-com, and that kind of stuff.
This is a world that I am the wrong guy to talk about. I'm living.
I thought you being the agency, you slick website, you'd be like, really onto the future here.
Here, it would be different if I was working at the old 150 person agency. I'm like running everything. I have no time to breathe. Sure. I know you guys know this is the world. Like, we're just trying at this point in the agency's like maturity, just thinking about when I can hire people. I just need more help. So that's all it is. Like winning business, keeping an eye on the bank account, and saying, okay, and I can hire somebody. So that's what keeps me up at night. I do have a client that's pretty into NFT, crypto, and it just seems, I guess my one read on it is there still seems to be a ton of education needed out there. So that's where this client is going, is like, we're going to be the educators. Okay. And I think one thing that's interesting, what they're doing is they provide education to women, and so that's what they're doing. They're going to go down like this path of like education about crypto, NFTs, that whole Web 3.0 for women, because it's a really male dominated thing. Totally. And one of the light bulb moments that I had with them is like, wow, you could do that for a lot of things, right? Yeah. So like just take a topic that's already been really well covered and then pick an audience and then take that topic and adapt it into the language of that audience. Yeah. Like that's kind of what you guys do. Is hair care a novel? No, like these are problems that have been very much solved. Right. And you're just taking it like, oh, let's change it into the language for dudes. Yeah.
Throw a little sauce on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Spice it up.
Bro it up.
Bro it up a little bit.
Tell you the story. You guys are like, yeah, we know that. Yep. We've done our fair amount of Googling on all the ladies' sites. Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, think about it. Like just everything we sell, it's not like we have any unique, groundbreaking invention. We've come up with a superior product and a clever way to market it. Yeah. But it's a hair tie. Shampoos, conditioners, hair care product. I mean, it's just...
It is the world's best.
It is. No. Like, no doubt. But just to your point, I was saying, like, we're not special with the products or anything. But what is special is the way we've been able to recognize the audience and speak directly to them and make it fun and build that community.
Yeah, it's why I grew my hair for 2.5 years or whatever, how many years, and chopped it all off.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
And that's something, I feel like that's a big thing gets thrown around a lot right now is like community. We're building our community and everything's about the community and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you guys started your thing like 6 months ago. You don't have any a lot
of lip service out there.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Or trying to build a community around a product. I think some brands can do it if they really have like their product is just so dang good that people it's a lifestyle thing for them, right? Yeah. But it's really hard to have a product and try to be like, we're going to build this community around this product. Yeah. And this.
Can you imagine if you started in reverse? Like you started with the hair ties and you're like, yes, let's build a community around hair ties. You'd be like, that's so dumb.
We would not be here right now.
It sounds ludicrous.
Well, we had the idea first of hair ties for guys. Yeah. And we were working on it and mulling it over. And long before we launched it in any way, we had took a couple steps back and like, wait, okay, there's more to it than this. And that's where we eventually came to the Longhairs and okay, this is a lot bigger than just hair ties. And then we didn't end up launching hair ties for guys until a year after we launched the brand. Yeah. So we were in peril of potentially trying to do that, but we, had the foresight to think it through a little bit further before just throwing out the hair tie idea.
And I think that came with our marketing experience, working with other businesses, whatever, intuition, fraternity, all those things combined was like, we can't just launch hair ties. Well, we didn't even have any. to be honest. So
I ask people, what if we would have just launched hair ties for everyone? Like, would people, push back against hair ties for guys? Oh, there shouldn't be. If we just launched hair ties for everyone, it would be hair ties for no one. It would be nothing. It would just no one would care. We had to really carve out a niche for something again that had been had existed before, but being able to again come up with a superior product, but also just speak to the group that's no one's talking to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could have been the exact same thing and it wouldn't be what it is now. It's the community that drives them in, and the education and I like this brand, the buy-in. Now I have to try this.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned before, like if you're creating content, like if any brand out there is like, oh, we should create content, it has to come within the walls of that brand.
Yeah.
You cannot outsource great content production.
Right.
You can't.
No. Yeah.
I mean, you can recruit people to help you capture it.
Right.
Like not everybody can or should have a videographer on staff.
Yeah.
But like the person who's responsible for managing and coming up with the content like has to live and breathe the brand. Otherwise it's inauthentic, like
100%.
Yeah, I'm staring at those hair ties and I'm like, I can't even imagine if somebody handed me those and I didn't know this didn't exist, this whole thing. Or like, create a community around these. It's just like, no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Crazy.
But, yeah, that's cool.
Hey, well, you wrote a really fascinating and to us just a freaking awesome article on LinkedIn about your observations of the Longhairs brand and how it had inspired you to grow your hair out, and kind of pulled a few takeaways from your observations of our brand. It was a fantastic article. We'll link it up in the blog post here for the show. But we appreciated that, man. And it was some really unique insights that I can't say anyone has really pointed out before. But you mentioned a moment ago just the authenticity, and that's really what has come out through the content.
Yeah, I forgot what I wrote in there because it's been a while. Yeah, but like
it was really great, man.
But yeah, I thought that was me very much reflecting on I wrote that I think like the day of or the day after I cut my hair, and it's like looking back and like how did a brand do this? And this is like it's a crazy thing. Like brands can't even get people to fill out a form on the website, and you guys got me to grow out my hair and for months look like an idiot and like deal with the awkward phase and being called I look like a girl and I did all that. And this is not like blowing smoke. It's like seriously because of the long hairs. There's no other reason that I grew out my hair. And like I don't know. It was just so like if every brand was able to execute the playbook that you guys have, it'd be scary. Like, can you imagine if like $1 billion brand with some real firepower is able to get their shit together enough to like execute? Like, it'd be crazy. Like,
well, there's some that do.
But it doesn't come across like it's so weird.
I mean, I think what Nike has done with it's like secondary market shoe culture is totally
it's
pretty
almost
amazing.
Like it's so like that's so seamless that you don't even know they're behind
exactly.
it. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. That's like puppet master tinfoil hat level like manipulation going on. Like this is nuts how they're doing.
Yeah,
you're right. But like there's something where you get to a certain level of big where it feels corporate because you just have too many players involved.
Yeah.
And it loses its soul. Like, and I think that everything that you guys do at your size, and I don't know how you keep holding on to it, but it has a lot of soul in it where you really feel that it's coming from everybody involved. Like, and it's funny, it's somehow, some way, even like with Charlie, like pulling it off, dude doesn't even have long hair. Feels authentic. Don't know how, does.
Just our guy. He's the guy. He's our guy.
Man, that's
I watch his videos and him getting thrashed on the comments of like I think it's coming in. People are just like nah.
Bro, you're balding. Like, I mean, he gets killed.
Just
dude.
The shovel comes out.
He keeps coming back for more.
Just like the guy's just taking it like a champ.
Speaking of Charlie, big disappointment this week. He was growing it out. He probably had it the longest he's had that I can remember. Honestly,
no doubt.
He maybe was he surpassed maybe his longest by a few millimeters.
For sure.
and then he just got a haircut. Like
Yeah, what happened?
His wife was just, I guess, pounding it. Like he tried everything.
His
Couldn't
wife
handle
pulled
the heat.
his wife pulled up a picture of Steve Buscemi, like the worst photo ever that he's taken when he had long hair, and said, "This is what I think about when I see you. When I think about your hair."
That was the knockout punch.
That was the
You looked at
knockout
me.
punch, dude. File that under knockout blows. Absolutely, just and literally the next day. He even made a video to me and Linz and sent it over with his reasoning and his. You got to appreciate the guy. You know, he did it reluctantly, but when you're getting shots like that from your own wife, what are you gonna do?
Savage blow.
His wife not as nice as yours. She she didn't do the I can't believe you cut it. I was liking it. It was just like, thanks, babe.
You're so much more handsome, Charlie.
Exactly.
Do you think it had anything to do with like his wife catching him laying on the couch applying lipstick with his hit list on the wall? Like, no, like, guys, we got the reference. Come on. I think it's a Billy Madison, right?
Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, Billy
Yes.
Madison.
Yeah.
Billy
Yes.
Madison. Yeah. I got you.
We can't really say, to be sure. I want to go back though. You said only because of the long hairs, and I would see if we could adjust that and say you were empowered by the long hairs, because you even said yourself, every guy, you had some wonder of, what would it be like if I had long hair, and I think every guy has that kind of wonders at some point or another, and if we could be there to empower or give him a good reason or other guys for some backup so he's not just out there facing the world with his awkward stage by himself, then that could give him just that little bit of confidence he needs to get over the hump.
I think it's both and. I think it is because really speaks to like the trigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that was the spark of why it started literally growing, or I started growing it. And the empowerment comes, I think it really comes the day like where I am right now. Brothers, I need some help. Hold my hands. It's like the empowerment comes when it's like when you're in the journey. That's where, like poor Charlie. Like here's all that story. The moral of that is like we need some more awkward phase content, boys. Like
Yes.
we need some more content about how to fend off the wife. Like maybe
It's a
we
good
should
one.
be interviewing
It's a tricky
wives.
one.
Like,
Should interview some wives. That'd be great.
yeah. How do you
yeah.
prepare for a Steve Buscemi level blow? Like
He was probably just finished his lunch or something, was about to dive into his
gets
emails.
his head knocked clean off.
Clean up his shoulders.
Yeah.
You can't come back from that kind of.
But I think that was the most powerful thing of like when it comes to like empowering, where like I said, it's every step of the way, every really like stupid question that I'd have, it felt like you guys had the answer. It was like weirdly had the answer to the next level. Like not just an FAQ section, a full video walkthrough on like how to brush or how to wash your hair. It's like that's the next level where it's like I don't even think like talking about like stealing from all the problems that women have been solving forever. It's like I don't even know if there's that level of content out there for like women.
Well,
like,
it's different, right? Because they're kind of indoctrinated. Indoctrinated.
Yeah.
Most with they already by the time they're 6, 7, they're like hair professionals.
They think they are.
They've been through a lot, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
Certainly
so,
experienced.
Yeah, by the time they're teenagers, I mean, they could do everything with their hair, tie it anyway, do all, whatever. Like guys typically are kind of growing it out a little bit later, and they have no clue. So that's where I think it's different. Like, the
First timers over here.
yeah.
Back to
The
your
guys.
question about like the great things about growing out. One of my favorite things about growing my hair out was the comments about how nice it is, like how healthy.
Oh,
it
once
is.
you were fully draping, yeah.
Oh, and the girl's like, "Are you kidding me? You don't have a single split end." Like, yes, that.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Took sick satisfaction out of that. I don't know. It was a weird feeling though. Feeling.
Right. No, that's another interesting one when you kind of compare the two, right? I mean, that's women tend to maybe abuse it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Heat, color, different treatments and stuff. Most guys don't really do much, which helps.
Yeah, I mean,
Tends to keep it healthier. And that is so common. I mean, almost half or more of the long hairs we talk to have that saying, oh, yeah, the girls always say how nice it is.
I think it really
Half the time
speaks
it's just
to like males having a stronger like nurturing tendencies than women, really.
Right.
That has to be it.
Let's get this podcast canceled. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
that's what I was
Let's
going to say.
You're right. That must be it.
Yeah. Oh, one thing, I don't know if you guys have content on this, but I found out this was part of what got me to cut it actually too. Donation to, I also timed it where it's like if I had the option to grow it back, I could. Was at the end when it got really long, I didn't realize that I wasn't doing a good job rinsing my hair. I feel like this is a very common problem. Don't know if you guys have any content on it, but the conditioner I wasn't fully rinsing, and so my hair would be like, I'd be like, why is my hair so greasy?
Okay.
And that it got unruly. So even with the rinse, even when I realized that was a problem, it was so freaking long that it would take me so long to properly rinse it, and I was just getting annoyed. And I'm like, I gotta cut this. I'm done. So just a little plant.
Long hair
That's a good one.
problems. Yeah.
That's a good one to hit on, definitely.
Yeah, and it's like it could go into the whole thing. I know you got like the greasy like article or content, like that could be another like, oh, you probably didn't think about it. You're not even rinsing right.
Totally.
Got to rinse that stuff
a
thoroughly.
couple of good content ideas coming from this.
Yeah, love it.
Look at us
Love
go.
bringing the wives in, or a wife, or Charlie's wife.
Yeah. Let's talk some more shit about them. Like see if they actually listen.
Let's listen to what they're saying and formulate our strategies for all the guys who are trying to get the green light.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's always great when they're not here to defend themselves too. I like that.
CJ,
man.
why don't you tell us where we could connect with Vulgar, and if someone is maybe interested in checking out your services, and where they could connect with you personally even.
Yeah, sweet. So if anybody has kind of a brand they're trying to scale up, I think the big problem that we solve is taking ideas and content that may be generated by that brand and then turning that into things that actually perform and get results and grow revenue. So that's what we do, and that we're at hellovulgar.com. Personally, you can hit me up on LinkedIn. Just search CJ Force, Forse. And that's probably the best place to connect with me, or my email is cj@hellovulgar.com.
Sounds like we could use an agency like yours.
Let's go. Let's plan it
I mean,
out
that's
right
been
now.
a kind of a weak point, I would say, even though we have an ads team and stuff, but like we do create so much content, all of our blogs, all of our videos, everything, making the subsidy kind of derivatives from them that work everywhere, that have a specific strategy, has always been tough, because we just do it and move on to the next thing, and not looking at like, wow, this 15-minute long video could have been like 7 different lead magnets or something.
The thing that I always say, like, now we're getting to like almost pitch area here, but like I always say, like, Vulgar exists so that the people running the brand can focus on just doing the cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, go out, create remarkable moments. Like we always say, like, you want to create things that are truly remarkable, that compel people to remark. Go do that stuff. Go focus on getting picked up by the press. Go focus on creating like really cool content, and then just flip it to us, and we'll create the stuff that's like the ads. And because it's like, anybody who's ever done it, it's fun to create ads like the first several times, and then after that you're like, I hate this. I just want to create the cool, like I want to go shoot the video. Like, and so that's what we're really, really good at, is like upcycling stuff that we already have. Like that's our sweet spot. That's what we love. Like now I feel like I'm pitching, but I'm not. Like you guys are totally like one of those like dream clients where you have a plethora or a library of all this stuff that we could dice up and create some cool, really cool
We got
shit.
2 terabytes for that ass.
Let's go.
I never had thought about the term remarkable and what that means, but I love that. Yes, it is worth remarking on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make something worth remarking on.
Yeah.
One more question that was coming to mind. At your agency, you have a copywriter, designer, developer, an account manager,
Video editor.
and a video editor. Those
Yeah.
are your 5?
Yeah.
Are you the copywriter?
No.
You have a copywriter. Nice.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of your copy, man. You could write for the Longhairs. Very talented copywriter. I thought you would be doing it over there.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, you're trying to
Appreciate
do everything. So if I could get one thing out of my hands.
Yeah. If you're reading the copy on the site, that was me.
Okay.
But yeah, not for the work that we
Oh, so you write for your own, but not for your clients. Real nice.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we get the cream of the crop, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, dude. I know it. Well, great stuff, man. Pumped on Vulgar. Pumped to get you into the new. We hardly commented on it, but you are our first guest.
Inaugural guest in the new professional setup. I mean, look at the difference, guys. You can just tell on the quality. I know.
I'm really not worthy.
No, you are.
No, and seriously, thank you for having me, and big congratulations to you guys and all your success. And this is. I know when you're in the trenches what it feels like. It's just the job is never done, and it never feels like there's a moment to really take a time to pat yourselves on the back, because you're just like, we're not there. We haven't done anything. At least that's how I used to feel.
Yeah.
And I think you guys should take a moment to revel in where we're sitting. It's incredible what you're doing. So
no, we do that.
Nice work
every day.
Just
from up there.
We really just actually we do too much patting ourselves on the back.
Gotta get some work done.
Yeah, we need a little less
less of the padding. No, dude, that's a great message, man. It is hard to you do often say, well, we haven't even done this, we haven't gotten this, or we don't have this done, or we haven't done this, and even just in this past month, looking at this place, what's happened in the last 30 days, it's pretty remarkable.
It is. There's a lot to remark about here.
No, it is.
You know,
it definitely checks that box. For
yeah.
Sure. Look at us. We're creating remarkable content right now. Perhaps.
Definitely.
Maybe not. I mean, if anybody's still awake listening to me yammer on at this point, good on you.
Hey, quick hair whip to El Garvinsky for setting up the new space here. The studio looks badass.
Yeah.
He's out there. He's producing, putting the cuts together for us. Way to go, Garv.
He will have his own camera, on the next one, so you can cut to him too.
Yep. And then you're going to have to talk.
All right, bro. Great stuff, man. Thank you.
Let's.
Until next time, bro.
Cheers.
Keep letting it ride.
Oh, maybe have me back for the hair grow. Cheers.
Dude, it sounded like you were on. That was the last thing I heard.
Cheers.